Again, forgive the mess. You know, professional to the bone. No expenses paid for me to make videos for you, you wonderful people. It's been a day. This is the end of the day. I did all those videos at the beginning of the day. So this is the same day. This is Sunday. Back to work tomorrow. But I thought before I go to bed that, well, maybe I'll clean up some of this stuff, because I don't think I need it right now. Before I go to bed, that I would show you this one thing, which I thought was, I don't know if anybody out there thinks this is interesting at all, besides me. And, but since I'm making the video, I find it interesting. So, I'm gonna leave these out. So, we have the train controller, and we have my wonderful, it's now soldered, nice and solid, 9-volt to 3-volt adapter. So I put this onto the train controller, and when I put it on the train controller, and I turn it on, this light comes on. I'll show you really closely. So if you go like that, it turns off. That little light right there. So that you know it's working. But here's the train controller. So watch very closely on the train controller and see what it actually turns off. Oh, there it goes. So basically when the train, yeah. Questions. So basically when the train controller actually starts controlling a train, which is right about there, the light turns on. So this is 9, and I tested it, this is actually 9 volts, even at this level. So I guess it's the amperage that changes. I thought the trains were controlled, the train motors controlled by how much voltage is in the rails. But that's not true, because it's 9 volts. If I test it right now, because I got Yawn Tester right here. Put it on volts, 20, because I figured that one out. Get this thing going. Put that here. You can see it. Can you see it? There we go. There's two. So let's put it on full. This is why I need a cleaner desk. So there we go. So you can see the 0, and then go on that side. So right now it's on full power. Brilliant, Dave. Brilliant. 9 point. What does that say? 9.1. I wish I could hold this thing steady with one hand. Which is not going to happen. 9.18, 9.19. Now if I turn it all the way down, come on, you were doing this perfectly before. I was wrong. I was actually doing it. I think there's a load on it. Before it said 9. So maybe it is controlled by voltage. I wish I could do this nicely. But I can't seem to do this nicely with one hand. And it would be neat. So there's 9. Okay, so this is actually doing by voltage. Starts with 9. I've been wrong before, and I'm not above being wrong again. There's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 volts, and then 1 point. So even when it's in the off state, oh, there it goes. On is a proper 0. Okay, let's put. There's a little tiny bit of voltage in there, even it's like when it's right at the top. 1.3. I did not know that. So that's 0. You put it on the train controller in the off position, and then let's just do this really quick. Go the other way. Come on. Oh no, it's not working because the thing doesn't want to go backwards. So yeah, don't put the train controller backwards on that thing. So 9. So it is controlled by voltage. I tested it without the thing connected, and it said 9 all the way down. But whatever. I thought it was controlled by voltage. It's basically limiting the voltage to the rails. But 9 point whatever is full voltage. And you can see that, but this thing, let's just do this now. Put that light up there so you can see it. I'm gonna go put these things back on somehow and be able to control it somehow. I wish I had the alligator connection, the alligator clippy points. So there, come on, stay on. If I had there, and I go 9, 5, 4, 3. So it turns off at 3. And of course that makes sense now, because the instructions that came with these 9-volt to 3-volt converters, or a higher voltage to a lower voltage, a buck thing, whatever that means, you had to have basically the input voltage always had to be higher than the output voltage. So and since my output voltage is set to 3.3, if this thing output goes below 3, it stops working. Makes sense. I'm sure if I turn that little knob, so that also makes sense now. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, and it turns off. So there's that. So basically, I don't need 9 volts to run a 3-volt apparatus or the LifeLites. I just need anything above 3 volts. Operate it. But it's going to be 9 volts. I found out just by Googling it, and I used to know this kind of crap, that the output ports are 1.8 amps. They can go up to 1.8 amps on the RCX outputs. I couldn't find a train controller output to see how many amps that is, but almost 2 amps, basically. It's pretty good. That's what it said. That's one page, but actually 3 or 4 pages that say the same thing. So I can't figure out how many amps is actually coming out, but whatever, doesn't matter. 1.8, I'll work with 2. And then I was told that each LifeLite is like between 80 to 100 milliamps. So 0.1 amps per LED. Now, so if you have 2 amps and you have 0.1 amps per LED, that means you can have 10 lights, that's 1 amp. And if you have 20 lights, it's at 2 amps, basically. That's the math in my head. I could be wrong. 100 milliamps. Okay, maybe that's not right. Because that'd be 1,000. Maybe it's 0.01 amps. 100 milliamps. No, because 100, 200. Yeah, no, it's 0.1. 100 milliamps. Because when you get up to 1,000 milliamps, that's 1 amp. so I think that's how it works. So I can have up to 20, perhaps 20 LEDs per one of these. So I have 10 of these, and so that's 200 LEDs. Now, to start, so basically 2 LifeLites kits off of one of these things, as far as my math and understanding go. If the LEDs take less than 100 milliamps, and if the output port can handle more than 2 amps, I think 2 amps is a very, very good number from what my understanding. You don't want to like melt the wires. But I'm looking at the 120 volt. I know that the 9 volt, I mean, it says right on it, if I have one here. Yeah, I do have one on here. It said, he actually put it right on here, 16 LEDs on each connector port, 16 LEDs. So there's 2 LifeLites kits on each side. So that's 32 LEDs altogether for this thing. And I'm figuring 20 LEDs for this thing. So I think there's a discrepancy here between what this is doing and what this is doing. So I'd have to look at that. Again, I'm a complete doobie on this kind of stuff, where I don't understand. Deep down, I know what all these parts do, but I don't know how they were all work together. But if this thing can handle 32 LEDs, I would have thought that this thing could handle 32 LEDs or 4 LifeLites kits. But right now, my math is saying it can only handle 2. But I could be 100% wrong on all these numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect LifeLites kits together and see what happens. But before I do that, I also wanted to show you this. So here's the RCX. Now this is an RCX without any updated firmware. Like, it's unplugged and there's no batteries in it. So anybody who knows that knows that there's no firmware. And if you hit on off when there's no batteries in it, it actually blanks the thing out. So when you plug it in to the power, because it's the 1.0, which is the only ones I actually like, and you turn it on, wait, Wait for it. Disappointed me. This one's a little fickle. This is why it was in my bin over there and not in the layout, because there it is. There it is. Let me do that again, just for. I could probably just clean the pads. So anyway, so the funny thing about the 1.0 RCX brick with no firmware updated or whatever, nothing unloaded, you hit the run button and it runs. So you'll see it. So those in a no, you'll see the guy running, and then you'll see motor output C and motor output A are running, and they're running at full speed. They're running at 0.7 instead of like 1 through 6. They're running at 7. So here's me again. I'm gonna put this up here, and I'm gonna plug this thing into port C, and look at that. So now this RCX is running this thing, and of course I have 2 more outputs here. So it means I can connect at least, if my math is correct, it's going to be 2 these converters per port. So so that's 2, 4, 6 converters I can have on one RCX. And the good thing about that for me is, just because again I'm going to get rid of wall warts, hopefully, and just run the whole thing off your RCXs, because I want to program it. I want to program the lights to turn off, so all of a sudden the building gets shut down, and when the lights go down in the, like, I'm gonna maybe have a light sensor on the RCX that perhaps, like, during when the lights are on in the building, that the base plates are not lit up, and when the lights go down, there's gonna be a time delay, and all of a sudden this section's like, I'm gonna come back and it happens a great, and not one of those Christmas videos where you have the guy who sets his house to music and you see the Christmas lights, you know, dancing to the music all over his roof and stuff. But the closest example I can think of right now is the last episode, or second last episode, of Star Trek Picard season 3, when they went to space dock, and of course Geordi was fixing something. And because I don't want to give away too many spoilers, Geordi was fixing something, and when they were coming upon that something with the shuttlecraft, the lights started turning on, poof, 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 to light up that thing that Geordi was working on. So it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. It's again, it's a trope. It's 100% trope. It's a cliche. It's 100% cliche. It's happened so many times where the reveal of whatever object gets illuminated with spotlights, or sporadically, or the light goes over it. You don't see the whole thing at once. And so my idea is, if these things are going to work nicely, and I'm going to figure out how many I can run on a circuit, that I would program the RCX that they're connected to, not to put on all the ports on all the time, that there would be intermittent, like the light disappears, like the sun goes down, shall we say, in a space, and then the sections start turning on, and then go up the tower. I think that'd be fun, instead of just boom, the whole thing's on. There's an old TikTok on my channel where my wife was just wonderful for me, and I was filming. We had it set up in the living room because I was testing the lighting, and all the lights are off the layout, but the vehicles, or the monorails are moving around, but and then Sandy was filming, hit the power switch, because again the entire layout is controlled by one light switch in the control center that I built. You turn the light switch on, everything is powered. So all of a sudden it's all dark, and then boom, and the musical, of course, gets to that point again. Trope music swells, and all of a sudden boom, it's on. I like that instant on for everything, but I also like the idea that it's going to come on in sections and hopefully go up the tower, as you know. We'll see, because that's going to take a lot more work, because again the tower right now is on 3 power supplies, and so you can separate it with 3 power supplies, so it's only 3 sections, but I want to separate it into all sections. So it might be a little too ambitious, shall we say, because like just running the wires back to a control center, or to these things, it seems to be, it might not be that it might be difficult to do so. I don't know. It's a thought. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test this first, straight up. I'm gonna just test this first, and what I'm gonna do, not on camera because I want to bore you kids. I'm going to plug a lot more LifeLites into here, and see how many I can plug in before it starts dimming. that's step one, and feel if this thing's getting hot or anything like that. Like maybe there's a thermal switch in it. I don't know. I don't remember reading on the website that it had a thermal switch if you overload it, but we'll find out, and I'll keep you posted. So that's it. That's all. Sunday night, I'm going to go to bed now, and I'm gonna work with this as I can. So this is semi-interesting news. The Brick Shack, Jamie called me and asked me if I could display the layout at the shop again. I wasn't quite ready for that. I said yes, but I'm not quite ready for that because I have a lot of work to do on it. This is what happened last time for Bricks in the Six, is that it was in Jamie's shop until like a week before I went to Bricks in the Six, so I didn't get a chance to fix what I wanted to fix. And now it's the same thing. I will not be able to fix what I want to fix, but I said since the Brickomeanies in August, that I would get it back weeks before August. So we're talking June and July, and probably half of July, that it's gonna be at the shop, the Brick Shack in Grimsby, Ontario, and we shall see what happens. You know, what's the worst that can happen? I won't have a display for Brickomania. We'll see what happens. I'm not too worried. Jamie is a man of his word, a man of integrity. So we'll see. You guys all stay safe, take care, and I will talk to you soon.